Hey guys, Legion here. Today I will show you how to play and build Atomic Samurai in One Punch Man World. Atomic Samurai is a very strong technique type character capable of switching between two states, dealing massive amounts of damage. And by also stacking weakness marks on the enemy, he will do even more damage and able to do massive counters. So let's get into it. Alright, I'm going to start off by how to play Atomic Samurai. Atomic Samurai starts off in his first form, which is called Beidou form. And to apply weakness on the enemy, all you need to do is use your normal attack. Once you apply enough marks on the enemy, you can hold your basic attack to do a charge attack. If the enemy has full stacks, the charge attack will be enhanced and do even more damage. Now to talk about his second skill, his skill 2 will do a combo on the enemy as well as add more weakness marks. You can then do a follow-up attack with your charge normal attack. Now to switch between forms, you can press his skill 1. Atomic Samurai will gain a whole new moveset including a new normal attack. And Atomic Samurai's speed will also be reduced in this state, but this allows you to do even more damage and play with counters. Now in this state, your basic attacks will also add more weakness marks on the enemy. In this form, Atomic Samurai has an accurate dodge mechanic. Doing a accurate dodge will add a weakness mark on the enemy. You can then follow up with a normal attack after a accurate dodge. If the enemy has full weakness, the follow-up attack will be enhanced and do massive amounts of damage. Atomic Samurai will do a really cool move. This is really satisfying to land, so you gotta know and practice the movesets of the bosses to accurately use this. Now this is something I didn't know until I did the trial. You can actually use his switch up or the first skill to switch between forms right before the enemy attacks you. So you can then do a follow-up right away on the enemy. And then in this state, Atomic Samurai also has a charged follow-up attack. You gain a movement speed boost and perform a quick slash on the enemy. This is really good because in this state you can see Atomic Samurai is really slowed down, but since you can hold this will act as a speed boost. You can use this to get around quickly. Now the skill 2 in this form is also changed. Atomic Samurai will assume a defensive stance. You must press it a second time right when the enemy attacks you. You will then unleash a huge counterattack for lots of damage. Very cool attack, it looks amazing. But yeah guys, that is pretty much how to play Atomic Samurai. A very technical unit where you gotta time your dodges and counters to maximize your damage with him. But his skills does look amazing and he's a very satisfying unit to use. Very awesome unit. I would recommend pulling for him if you really like the character. You will not be disappointed with his kit. Alright, now let's look at which memories and wills you want to equip on Atomic Samurai. I'm gonna start with the most important one first. Obviously, you want to prioritize the unique mechanism. This one is called Composure Crusher. This will make him gain a 10% damage boost for 35 seconds when changing forms, which is a pretty long time. That's a nice damage boost. It does move up to 20% at level 2, and then when you max this out, this effect will be able to stack twice. So basically, meaning if you switch in his Kendo form and Lido form a second time before the 35-second bonus is gone, you can stack up to 40% damage for a period of time, which is pretty insane. Now, for what other memories you want on this guy, first off, Atomic Samurai is a crit damage unit. Unlike some other units that want negative crit rate, this guy wants regular crit rate. So put things like Penetrating Eye on him. I would recommend trying to get this as high as possible. But there's also a few other things that you can use like Mind Reader for extra crit damage. And there's a lot of ways to increase a character's crit rate in this game. There's Ride the Waves, Victory Rush, Blatant Strike, Sneak Attack. But the best one of course is Penetrating Eye for crit rate, because this isn't a situational crit rate. This is a permanent passive crit rate that's there for the whole match. Okay, so next up, you naturally want to build Atomic Samurai with as much attack as possible. This is why you want things like Impassioned, Compassion is very important. And what to look for specifically on your memories for the stats. You want the attack stats over anything else, but you also want to look for memories with technical attack on it. On this memory, as you can see, I have assault attack, which I will need to change for a better one soon, but that's all I have for now. But I do need to change that to a technical attack because only technical attack units can use this buff, and it is higher than a normal attack stat. So I would recommend prioritizing technical attack stats on your memories. Alright, now let's talk about his impression arms. The SSR arm passive effect on it adds a 6% crit damage boost to attacks that use 5 stacks of weakness. Pretty good. And for the SSR arm skill, it's the same as Zombie Man SSR, which is very, very strong. Is it a must pull? Absolutely not. Most of us probably don't even have enough silver to pull on the impression arms right now anyways. I would recommend buying his SR from the shop for 60 of the currency you get for selling impression arms. His SR will give Atomic Samurai crit rate, which is very useful on him, since you do want to build Atomic Samurai with as much crit rate as possible. But now, for the last thing I want to mention, I'm going to go over his potentials. The first potential is very, very strong. The best to go for, I would say, because other than that, I would not recommend going any higher. The only good ones after that are up to potential 4 and up, which is a lot of copies to try and get. And unless you're well, we are not touching that ever. So yeah, guys, that concludes my how to build and play Atomic Samurai guide. Now, a little side note regarding this channel before I end this video. I know this game is not doing the best right now. We just got the numbers of how much revenue the game got and how much it did in the first month. I might end up doing a video covering this a little more in detail, but it is looking rough. So it is quite unfortunate. I might have to change the direction of the channel and cover more relevant games soon if things do not change. And after doing videos on this game non-stop for a whole month, I'm starting to notice I don't have really much left to cover. I could maybe do about like 10 more guides and that's pushing it, but after that the content is quite scarce at in-game. There's not much left to do once you cover everything, unless they add more content, which is very needed soon. So maybe Legion One Punch Man World will be changed to just Legion. We will see in a few weeks of how they handle the game. But I appreciate all the people who watched my videos over the last month. Making 1,000 subs in a few weeks is really insane. I did not expect it. So just wanted to do a small update on the channel, and I might end up doing a video talking more details on this current state of One Punch Man World. But that is all for this video. I hope this guide helped, and thanks for watching.
"俺は強者しか認めねえ。